Hey everybody, Danny Maude here. Thanks for joining us. How often do you arrive at a driving range just like this? You want to improve your strike. You want to stop slicing or stop hooking your shots with your irons and your driver, but you just don't know how. It just gets confusing, doesn't it? Well, I myself was practicing here just this week, and a subscriber to the channel comes up to see me and says, Danny, can I book a lesson? I said, look, well, I've got 5 minutes now, actually, if you want me to have a quick look. So I come over, come and have a quick look. And sure enough, he's just a bit lost. He's got so much stuff going on in his head. He's chopping down on the ball. He's got this big booming slice. I use some props that you always find at ranges to help him. And you know what? In literally 5 minutes, we got rid of his slice. Started to strike it so much better. In his own words, it's the best he's ever hit it. Now, I can't remember his name. I hope you're watching. If you are, leave a comment in the comments box below. Let me know if it's still working for you. But I want to share with you what we did, because at ranges, there's all kinds of things you can use. And I'm going to show you the prop we used and how you could adapt to that yourself if you hook or slice it so you can hit it much, much straighter. Before I do though, look, if you're new to the channel, it's one of your first videos of mine, please consider subscribing. Just press that little bell button, next subscribe button, you get notified every time I release a video just like this one. Plus, I'll always put a free downloadable practice guide in the description box below, so you'll never have to remember a thing. Okay, great. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with the irons and we'll work to your driver. We're going to start with slicing, then we're going to do to hooking too. Keeping it super, super simple. So I didn't get the gentleman's name, so if you are watching, just leave a comment in the comments box below, that'd be great. But I'll show you what we did. So super simple. He had a big slice on his irons, wasn't striking them very well and wasn't hitting them very far either. And the reason being, to start with, the club was coming up and coming down very steeply and across the line of the golf ball, and we just needed to get rid of that. Here's what we did. We needed him to get a bigger turn and much more around motion. He was good at the up part of the golf swing, but wasn't good at the around bit. And it was the around bit that was really important, because if you're slicing the golf ball, you don't want to be coming across the ball, because that's going to put this side spin on it. What you need to be doing is starting to get more shape, so the club starts to attack much more into this space. So then the club comes down through the shot and then starts to come around here. That's going to create a straighter shot, or even what we tried with him, a much more of a draw style shot. So here's what we did. Step 1, just a basket of golf balls. Step 2 is going to be amazing, so keep tuned. Step 1, I needed to make him turn. Grab a basket of balls. All we did was this. He was good at the up motion, but wasn't good at the round. So grab the basket, and I just said turn over here, and imagine you're going to place the basket over this way. Now when you do this, look at what's happened to my legs. The only way you're going to actually put a basket over here is if you naturally twist your legs. You can't do it like this. It's very uncomfortable. You're going to have to reach over. So that is all we did, got him that sensation. Then move up. Now he didn't need to worry about the up motion because he already had it, but from there we just then practiced him really sensing that he was working it around. Now for him, what did he feel? That's correct. He felt like he was working way over here, but now he had the space to move into. So we just got him to swing there for a little bit, get some sensation of that before we moved on to tip 2, which was using a little bit of rubber. Now, if you have a look at this, this has a perfect curve in it. A lot of ranges have it. If you don't have one of these at your range, all you need to do is grab yourself some foot spray. And by the way, this does rub off. Make sure you rub it off. You can spray it around on a curve here. This is going to come in very useful. Okay, so people always ask me what I'm using. This Dactring Active. Most supermarkets have it, so I'm not sponsored by them in any shape or form, but I'm sure they do a roaring trade every time I do a video. So from here, what we did, we wanted to clear his brain. We wanted to clear as much of the complicated stuff as possible. So this visual cue really made that happen. And all we did was said, look, we knew that here, when this arc hit, he wasn't hitting this arc. What's happening was we knew that he was missing this arc out and going straight into this arc on this side of the golf ball. But we weren't getting this bit at all. He's now got the turn that's going to enable him to give him a chance to swing on this arc, yeah? Now he just needs to feel it or visualize it. This is what this did. It gave him some feedback. So we got him swinging now, and imagine the club look actually hitting this arc for the first time. He obviously felt that the club was swinging way too much over there, but that's fine. I said, look, it will swing over there, but watch, when you let the club release, the club then goes back around over this way, yeah? So you hit both arcs. You hit this arc now, and you'll hit the second arc, okay? That's all we did. So we started off that. He's now swinging. He's got a beautiful visual of where to come in, and as opposed to going up and missing this arc out completely and swinging there, he now swung around, comes inside, and he started to hit beautiful draws. You'll notice, by the way, this is hard rubber, so I pushed the ball quite a big distance away from it because I didn't want him to hit the rubber in any shape or form. And if you can see that, look at that shape. Lovely drawing motion, okay? Now, we'll come on to the driver in a second, but if you hook the golf ball, all you do is do the opposite. What you then do is say, okay, well look, you hit too much of this arc, but you miss this arc out. So your feeling, okay, is possibly that you're going to have to feel like you are swinging and almost missing this arc out completely and swinging more this way, right? You're actually allowing the club to swing on this arc a lot more. And when you do that, then look, we start to hit more of the fade style shot. With both of those swings, by the way, as you're doing this, you will start to feel a very different finish. Let's say you're slicing and you're coming here and you're visualizing this motion, you're going to feel a different finish. Hold that finish just for a second, because that could be a lovely cue also for when you're out on the golf course, because how you finish is often a reflection of what's gone on before. So you could feel that and go, okay, that's a different finish. Maybe that's where I need to be. And that's going to aid the whole motion. Just like for me, I often get too much on this side, so I try to fade a few, and this gets me feeling more of a upwards spiral motion. I feel like when I'm here, look, my hands are working this way. Okay, so now it's time to look at your driver. Driver, very, very similar, all right? But we need to come up with things that are going to help you to take this action to the golf course. So we'll start with if you slice the ball first. So peg up the ball. Now notice this, I'm pegging up a good distance away from the rubber. I don't want to hit the rubber. It's purely as a visual tool. You can use a foot spray, like I say. On a golf course, you can simply just visualize this arc. Now we said, what are the 2 steps? Super simple. You've got to make sure that you have a turn first. So I got him to push the basket, so I'm turning in this position. There's always a movement upwards. He already had that. So now we've got an ability to hit this arc. If you just lift up, you've got no chance. Yep, so this is the first thing. Particularly driver, this is huge, because if you don't turn, you've got no chance, look, of hitting up on the shot. If all you have is an up motion, what are you going to do? You're going to chop down on it. That's why you might hit your irons pretty good, but your driver poor. So we've got this motion here. We feel it's an exaggerated one. We feel we're going to hit it over there, but we're not, because watch, even when we're coming in here, look, as the club naturally fires, and as long as you hit the arc, as it fires, watch what's happened to the golf club, look. As it comes in here, look, and I fire through, look, it squares up there. We don't square it up with our shoulders. The club naturally gets squared up to the golf ball just through the release. So now we've got the visual, we don't have to overcomplicate it. That's what these are all for. Let's have a look at this in action. A nice easy one to start with. Nice turn. Away we go. Nice high launching flight, straight down the middle of the fairway. So once you've done that, and as I said, you're going to have feelings when you do this. If it feels, once you start hitting the draw shape, or you start hitting it much, much straighter, the sensations that you take from this, particularly in your finish position, you can start to take to the golf course. So once you've actually hit the shot, it's going to fall over. Once you've hit the shot, hold that finish, start to get the sensation, okay, that's a very, very different finish to what I'm used to. So I go back, and I go, wow, that's a different finish. That's the finish I'm going to be going for. Now, if you hook the golf ball, you do something similar. Now, we'll come up with a summary all in the end to kind of keep it simple, but just covering the hooks. Now, if you hook the golf ball, what do? Well, the turn is still important, but remember, you're not hitting this part of the act. The sensation for you is that what you're going to do, you're going to start to swing, and you might want to feel like rather than the slicers need to kind of hold back a little bit before they release, you need to feel like you're coming and maybe releasing more this way. Your swing's more that way. This is the zone that you want to be playing. You want to be playing around trying to hit this section here, because you hit loads of this section. So you get yourself set, and we'll see if I can fade this one now. Backwards and forwards, and there we go. Nice perfect fade, and all I've done is I've got the sensation that rather than coming here to here, it's now more higher to lower in the swing, coming more this way. Again, just a feeling. Yeah, the real sensation is probably not what you're seeing, okay? So in summary, two things: use visualization, use props on the range, use this simple arc you have here to start to kind of help you shape the golf swing here. Grab a basket, simple things you can do at home. You've got to move to do this, then raise it. That's your backswing right there. That's going to get you the pivot. All these things are hugely, hugely important if you want to start to create a proper swing, but more importantly, a simple swing that you can take to the golf course. Use this visual that you can take. It's amazing when you move that away. When we look on the ground now, I can still picture that on the ground, and I'm still picturing that visual. It's far better than having nothing there at all. So I hope that this video really, really helps your game. It certainly did for the little temporary student that I had on the driving range. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, maybe share it with a friend. And of course, look, it's a free downloadable practice guide in the description box below, so you never have to remember a thing. But until next week, have a great golfing week.